about it, and after the practice, I'm just linking both of them. So it is a profound journey realizing inner potential. So we also understood that there is an awakening aspect and there is a realization aspect, beginning of awareness, self-awareness. Now I have a pain, so why I did get the pain? So I'm becoming aware, even though I'm finding the cause of the pain. So I'm raising an awareness. So that I'm awakened to the cause and I'm awakened to the pain also. Realization means that there is a full understanding. What is that full understanding? Then I avoid, neglect those areas where I need not to enter. So it means that I don't fall into ignorance. So when you do not fall into ignorance 100%, you are already there, because what is real self is not going anywhere. It is here and now. It is here and now. It is here and now. So that needs to be clearly understood. Potential, seed has a potential. Go on thinking potential. Seed has a potential. So there we need an external factors, light, water, etc. External factors. Potential is always manifested, it is outside. Only difference is that once I awaken to the potential, I evolve into a realized person, but otherwise outside remains the same. One thing that never changes, that is the real self. Any change means what? Any change, we have our human what do you say? Our human civilization or the human intellect has understood that change is a growth, change is a development, change is an evolution, change is a transformation. So seed grows into a tree, it becomes the seed again. It is not the same seed, but the very essence remains the same. And that essence does not change. The mango tree does not become an orange tree. The very essence remains the same. So that very essence is the real self. We don't change. I may become son, and then the father, then the husband, and then the son, father, then the grandfather, but the very essence does not change. That very essence is the real self. So that is why we say we have to awaken that potential in us. Awakening is like just you wake up in the morning, it is a dawn, and realization is the full daylight. Now I'm 100% fully aware, realize and experience that I am the real self of the nature of peace and happiness. Finished. That is the simple way. But the moment we fall back into these crazy stuff which people have created, I see the light. Better you see the light with eyes open. I see the color. You see the light with outside the color. That is one aspect of it. Second aspect is also important, because I'm totally absorbed into meditation and I see the vision, colors, right? They indicate the progress. They indicate an awakening. So they indicate a journey. They don't indicate a destination. That needs to be, we as a higher level of a seeker, we are very clear. We are 100% clear that they will continue to happen. Well, you may be able to read the thoughts of others. Okay, I have read it. But then I have to ask myself that how come it is possible? Because the mind has become very pure. Mind is very clear. So we want to know the truth. We are not interested in these. We don't carry forward. I have seen the color today, and then tomorrow I force myself that I don't see the color. And that is the objective reality. I am searching the subjective reality. So it means, I have already gone down. It is the false I, it is the I thought, which is identifying with these experiences. So I need not to think of it. So we have to reflect on each and every step. There are two ways of thinking. One is that you don't reflect. One which we say a typical path of yoga. Typical path of yoga. What is the typical path of yoga? That teacher gives you the meditation practice and you don't think it at all. You keep on doing it. You are totally absorbed. And you are totally absorbed like you are also absorbed in deep sleep. But you are not aware. So the typical path of the yoga means that you are totally absorbed and you say, no, I was totally in a heaven. Once you return, you are in a hell. So you are not bringing that heaven into the hell. Why? Because you were totally unconscious. So what is the use of that absorption? So then another path is the knowledge. Then I should understood. I should clearly understood. So when the wisdom is applied, then what happens? I get rid of those elements of impurities, ignorance and delusion. I am not carried away. Look other way. Very interesting way. It came to my mind just now. Patanjali says, Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodha. So we translate, how we translate? Control of the mind. Control of all the thoughts of the mind is yoga. Very good. Now we have to understand it clearly. So there are thought patterns. There are millions of the thoughts. They are classified into 5 categories. They are 5 categories. Now think. At present we are thinking. You are listening, obviously the thoughts is going into your mind and thought is also coming from my mind. It is a waking state. So in the waking state, either my thought is deluded, chipped or distracted. 5 states of the mind. Chipped, vikshipt, mood, nidra and nirudh. So 5 states. Fickle-mindedness, and then more or less, I have to go to the office, so I get my focus of the mind. So that is the second category of the thought. So I focus my mind on different activities. I have to go to the restroom, so I have not to land up into a kitchen. So that is the thought. So you see that every day we live with these 5 thoughts. That is the beauty, if you understand it clearly. So we are not following a typical path. We don't jump from the chapter 1 to the chapter 2 let me do the asanas and pranayama, typical path. It will take 50, 60 years and there is no 100% surety that you will reach to that state. That is why the Patanjali has talked about the first chapter of yoga. He says, no, first understand. Come back. So morning, you wake up in the morning, good morning, bad morning. Bad morning, obviously, you have a first kind of the thought pattern. Distracted, deluded thought. It has nothing to do with the reality. Good morning or bad morning. Morning is morning. So you see the first category of the thought. Second category of thought, occasionally steady mind. Occasionally steady mind, so now I have to take a dinner, I have to go to the office, go to the restroom, I have to sleep, and occasionally. That thought pattern is also in the mind. So both are happening in the waking state. Now see, both is happening in the waking state. What about the mudha state? Oh, so mudha state means that I am creating a thought with imagination. That is a dream state. It is not that, mudha or foolishness, foolish thoughts or deluded thought. Also, I live in the waking state with that delusion and foolishness, so I'm living in a dream. It's a dream state. It's a dream state. Now see that there are no thoughts at all. Master says this is a sleep state. What a beauty. We have to understand it clearly. We have to contemplate and reflect again and again. Oh, this is what it means. Sometime I'm carried away by extreme pleasure or pain, or the doctor gives me the anesthesia, thoughtlessness. Oh, that is the sleep state. Seems to be that is the sleep state. What about the niruddha state, the fifth one? That, so we have not to control, we have to recognize. Why to recognize? Why Master says? So the Master says, all our Master says, we have a waking state, we have a dream state, we have a sleep state, and we have a fourth state. The fourth state is turiya. That is a meditative state. That is a meditative state. But what exactly is this meditative state in which all the four types of the thoughts are absent? Simple. Why to control? That is, fourth state is totally independent. So if I control here, it does not mean that I will go into the fourth state. I have to transcend. That is why we use the word transcend. We use the word go beyond. What is the meaning of go beyond? It is not a waking state, it is not a dream state, it is not a sleep state. What is that state? It is a no mind state. Mind is not there. What do you mean by mind is not there? So mind is not there, there is no subjective reality, there is no objective reality, there is only one reality. What is that reality? That reality is real self. So what is the goal of meditation? To reach to that essence, to discover my nature. That is the beauty of the Patanjali. Patanjali is very deep. We don't pay attention, we don't understand, we don't study clearly. So, and now you see that then the Master goes. Master continues, Patanjali, if I rightly remember. So the Master says what? Athi Yoga Anushasana is the first. Leave it. Second, Yogas Chittavritti Nirodha. Means that going beyond these mental states. What happens then? Tada drishtu sarupe avasthanam. Now you have transcended the waking, sleep, and the dream state, or all the thought pattern. But we start thinking, I have to control this thought. And when you control this thought, more thoughts will appear into you. So that is not the control. It has not to do with the control. It has not to do with the suppression. It is not exactly the control. It is understanding waking state. Oh, I'm sleeping in a waking state also. I'm dreaming in a waking state also. Come to the reality. Come on. How? Discernment and dispassion. Discernment and dispassion. So Patanjali, in the perhaps, if I'm not mistaken, 16th and 17th sutra in the first chapter, what is the method? What is the method? Now the Master says what he says, Viplava Hanupaya. I'm missing the first part of it. He says Viplava. What is the method? Method is the Viveka. Method is the discernment. I recognize I jumped into the dream state. Come on, reality. I have $1 billion. No, it's a dream. Drop it. So, drop it. He's more intelligent. I appreciate it. I don't compete. When I appreciate, I'm on the right path. I close the series of the thoughts. How can I compete with this guy? What he is speaking? How? Leave it, I appreciate you. You're great. I'm unique, you are unique. Finished. So now you see that, it is transcending. Tada drashtu swarupe avasthanam means that now I realize the real self when I transcend the three states. So three states are related to the millions of the thoughts can be classified into three groups. And the fourth group is niruddha. Niruddha means no mind. Niruddha means empty state. Empty state means it's a no mind. No mind means that there is a reason there is a plane in the mind which, when it does not create a subjective and the objective reality. What is that state? What is that state? It does not create subjective and the objective reality. What is that state? There is no mind. What is that? That is no mind. Mind has merged into the real self. How do I experience? I experience in the beginning as a self-absorption. I was totally absorbed. I don't know where I was gone. Yes, it's an awakening. Good state. Good state. Continue. But don't try to repeat. Every time the practice and experience will be different. Okay, that, now your intellect has understood and it guides the mind into the practice. And Viplava Hanupaya Vivek Khyati. Vivek Khyati, I remember. So the master in the first chapter says, what is the method? Hanupaya means method. Vivek Khyati, Viplava Hanupaya. Your intellect and mind is centered in the highest level of discernment. Highest level of discernment, Viveka. What is the highest level? Highest level is the perfect knowledge, the knowledge of the real self. Now, because I am not identifying myself with the false I. Finished. Can it happen even while communicating and talking? Teacher is talking. Yes, it can happen. For the highest level of a seeker, Ashtavakra, Janaka, great masters. Then what I have to do with asanas, pranayama? Yes, we have to see the role. What role it is. In the beginning, I am not awakened, so I have to look for an awakening, so I have to prepare. That is the preparatory phase. Sarupyam itaratra, something like this, I'm forgetting that sutra. So when I'm not settled in the real self, the mind continues to move into these three states of waking, dream, and the sleep state. That is the meaning. So if means that I have not realized the true nature and I'm not into that state of the choiceless awareness, it means the mind is constantly visiting, moving, transitioning to the waking, sleep, and dream state. Yes. So even in the waking state, I'm sleeping. It happens, You start, you had a crazy thought. Oh yeah, yeah. This guy. I told you that this guy who who went for a dinner in a restaurant, and yeah, this happened. It's a real life story. So I get all the real life stories almost every week. So there is some problem. Some people are very open. They come out openly. So he came out of the restaurant and he said, I'm cursing myself. How dare my mind did this? I'm learning from you for the last 3 years. But I said, you can learn in a minute what you have been learning for that is what no, I was cursing myself. I was saying that mind, you are so crazy. I said, tell me what happened. But this is the way that you are a seeker now. If you are cursing the mind, you have recognized some part of a delusion. And I can understand that. So he told me that I had a table and then I ordered it, and on the side table there were three beautiful girls. And my mind during the entire period of taking the dinner, my mind was totally obsessed with that. And you have told me hundred of times that obsessed based desire is seeking pleasure outside. I did not recognize. Only when I came outside, I saw your picture, and then I said, better to call you. He was in a car and then he called me just out of the restaurant. I said, you are a seeker. But I'm cursing. I said, keep on cursing. That cursing is not going to control anything. That cursing, you are cursing your mind that was deluded. So this is what the master is, Patanjali is saying, that when you don't live into that very essence, you are living into this for either of the three states. It is just like as if you're dreaming, because he has lot of thoughts of sensuality, of attraction. And then I said, find out whether you want to marry. You have those attractions, get married. Don't start thinking that, I will fix the criteria to find the girl. It will never happen. You are already into your 40s. And that is what majority of the Americans keep on thinking. How many people they dated for years did not divorce? Oh, you are right, I said, then you have to think about it. But why you are pushing me for marriage? No, I'm not pushing. I'm looking what you explained to me. You have gone to a restaurant to dine, and you are dining with those girls. What is this? So it means that there is some physical attraction. How come the physical attraction comes? It ends up in physical relationship. So that is why I'm saying. But it comes only momentarily. Yes, I said it will come momentarily. Lion has a season. He was saying that you have an answer for everything. I said, no. I have to take your mind to become a higher level of a seeker. So that is the fourth sutra in the Patanjali. When you don't live into that state of realization, then your mind is switching, alternating between the sleep state, waking state, and the dream state. And when I live into the dream state and the sleep state, it gives me the ignorance, and it causes the delusion and the impurities of the mind, and then we build our false ego, etc., etc. It can be done if you maintain that level of awareness during the day. Can't you project for your business? Yes. Can't you dream for your business? Yes. But dreaming for something coming from the ignorance and the delusion is not required. I have to reach to you, find out the distance, go to the Google, practical, pragmatism. That is one aspect. Second aspect is the physical survival. I have to work, I have to live, I have to, for physical survival. Another thought is coming to my mind, it's also very important that this physical survival depends on the real self, but the real self is totally independent of the physical survival. One depends on the other, but the other is totally independent. So, what I want to convey? What is the essence that I want to convey? When that real self is independent of anything, what I am conveying? That spiritual journey is beyond the body and the mind complex. That is the message Master gives. If you think, oh, it may happen, for example, you have reached to that state of real self awakened and choiceless awareness. In that choiceless awareness, you have to go down a step one level to start thinking, let this choiceless awareness give me $1 million. Or God, let me pray God and it is fulfilled. Yes, it may be fulfilled, it may not be fulfilled. It is fulfilled because your mind is so clear, you are so much focused only on one thought. Possible. Possible.
But in the moment, we can fix only that there is desires which is now acting, but we don't, but we can do nothing. Only make yagya at this moment.
Yeah.
It's maximum
Yeah.
what we can do.
Yeah. So when I'm performing the yajna, so if my prarabdha is there, I will be able to realize it. I'll be able to realize. But one thing is there in the life of a seeker, it means that somewhere deep inside, the seeker's mind has those impulsive desire to get something from the world. So that puts me down. That brings me down. But does it mean that now see there is a very I normally give an example. There is a Swami Ram in US and he earned about $300 to $400 million. He was doing Nitya Karma and Yajna. He said, I have to earn this money to build a hospital for millions of people. And he built a beautiful hospital in India out of that money. Yes, it is possible. So I'm not desiring anything from the world for the selfishness, for my body and the mind. I'm not controlling myself. But it does not mean it is not helping you. It is also helping you. It is helping you in physical survival. So we need only for physical survival. Either you are in US or in India or anywhere. So you have to work, you have to organize, you have to create a project for physical survival. Minus I thought that I'm doing it for the existence. That becomes the yajna. And then you're totally free. Why you're totally free? I didn't get it, this much of money which I thought. I did not get it. Why? Because I wanted that money for myself. I did not get for the people. Oh, let me continue working. That is why the charity. That is why the charity and the nitya karma and trust in the existence and getting rid of the doership and the enjoyership has been understood clearly. And that is why it is taking a lot of time to understand these principles.
But can we back to this situation with dinner in the restaurant and nice girls which sitting near the table? So what is correct action which he is recognized that his attention is corrupted by
Yeah, he should recognize I'm dreaming. Come on, face the reality. Follow discernment.
but discernment is desire already starting to realize him, and what he can do. He can do only the say, thank you Shiva that you give me such a nice picture, have dinner and go out. What is
First
because
thing
if
that First thing that whatever is beautiful, my intellect should appreciate it.
the God is beautiful.
God is beautiful. So whatever is, you already got an answer. Whatever is beautiful, I should appreciate it. Appreciation is one thing, association is other.
Because we already have a lot of seeds of different desire inside, and we don't know when this seed will start to realize it in which situation.
So you are already in the path of the discernment. You have started realizing because the impulsiveness is there and some desire. So you have already started separating. Go back home, contemplate and reflect what is the best option to do it. Should I do all those practices, pranayama, breathing, lot of meditation? Yes, you can do it. Should I get into marriage? Yes, that is the second option. And I told him the same thing. And the third option, I said, go to a prostitution. Release your... No, that I will not do. I said, that is why you are a seeker. You don't want to break this order of the society. That is also a nitya karma, that I follow the social order. That I will never do. I said, don't do it. But I have given you the option. Then it will take another 10 years to rise above. So you have three options. So it means, that now I realize that if I have those urges, because it is coming from the past impression, and I'm not able to hold on it, it puts me into the dream and the sleep all the time. Let me get married and release this. So then he caught my word. I said, what did you say? That you get married and release it? I said, yes, release your past impressions. Your honey will think that you are getting married, you have those relationship, but your conscious approach is to release it. Oh, that is quite interesting. I said, once you feel that you are releasing it, you will have no conflict with your honey. I have to think it. I said, think of it. You'll have no, I can bet you that you'll have no conflict. Now you have released. Today you have released, tomorrow 6 months, 7 months, 1 year, 2 year. Keep on releasing it. And one day you will realize that this act is just a craziness. I should not fall into it. So once you reach to that state, then sit with the honey and talk to him or her. I'm done. Finished. No more. So you are not suppressing. Releasing. That is why I'm using the word released completely. So once you are released, you are already a great seeker. Now your mind will always go to find the real self. Oh, it is because of that, I'm not able to progress. I said maybe one of many reasons. There are other reasons, but one of many reasons. Can you give me any other option? Go to brothel, marry, or do the practice. Strong practices. Spend 2 hours. I'll guide you. No, better option is to get married. I said, yes. That I know it. So you have chosen the right thing. So you see that, again think, realizing inner potentials. So because by power of discernment, I have understood the potential is within me. But these are the obstacles. Sleep, dream, and so I have to get rid of it. So again, using the intellect to find out what is the best option. What is the best option for me? If you are constantly dreaming of the opposite sex every day, obviously the better version that you are not able to control this power, past impression, better to get married. No, only sometime. Yes, you have an option to go for the practice, sublimate desire. Or the third option, which many people opt for it, go to the red light area and do it. But not many spiritual people dare to speak this. Yes, I said, I don't give a label to myself as a spiritual person. Why should I give a label? Do you give your label to yourself that you are a man? I'm a spiritual guy. Yes, finished. Why shouldn't I talk about this openly and clearly to help you? To all the religions, I said, they are doing the same thing, you know. Many religious organizations, they have become a center of sexual exploitation, and they are saying that you are a spiritual person. I don't want to go there. So the potential is, what potential is veiled, potential is hidden, potential is suppressed by ignorance, by attachment, by distractions, by prarabdha, like the clouds covering the sun. So I have to find out. So I have to first recognize what are those clouds. What are those dark clouds in me? So once I find out, how I can find out? Self-awareness, discipline, regular practice of meditation, regular listening of these principles. And then those principles will help you awaken. That is why I told him, that is why you just came out of the restaurant and you started cursing your mind better. You are cursing intellectually, you are cursing consciously, that is a good thing. If you are cursing unconsciously and habitually, that is a bad thing. That will create a split personality. And that will take you to depression. And then he attended another session, he was fine.
Personally means feel guilty.
Yeah. The guilt comes and anxiety comes and inferiority complex comes, why it happens, how it happens, and then your mind has entered into another dream. You carry those impressions. Here you are releasing those impressions. You have recognized that this is the wrong. This is wrong because of association and attachment. Otherwise, there is nothing wrong in the world. Why we need awakening and realizing, that is what we are talking about. So when we talk of the modern science says that, yes, they also say that we possess a human intellect, unique qualities. We possess an intellect, we possess a self-awareness, they also recognize, and we have an ability to reflect on it, they also recognize. So science sometimes, it appears that it also gives a deeper insight into human brain and consciousness. So now, brain is a gray matter. So science says clearly, it has understood, unlike animals, humans have a highly developed cortex, prefrontal cortex in the brain, the part of the brain responsible for self-awareness, decision making, and reflection. It allows us. It gives me an ability not only survive but also reflect what is going on into my mind and to find the answer of that. So here is a problem with the modern science. Problem with the modern science is that it says, for example, I was talking early in the morning of the same concept in a different way. Modern, I was talking in a concept of happiness. So the science says the happiness, you stimulate the brain by what you like outside, and that stimulation releases the dopamine. I said if I dislike, it releases the stress hormone. Okay, I agree with you. And that gives you the pleasure or a pain. I said I agree with you. My only objection is, does the brain experiences that pain or the pleasure? Brain is a gray matter. All scientists say that brain is a gray matter. And then, because you cannot answer, so you say the seat of the consciousness is the brain. So it means the seat of the consciousness is the brain, means what? Consciousness is separate from the brain. Consciousness, obviously, when you say my seat is on the bedroom, my seat is on the restroom, obviously you are separating it. No, 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 no. Because of the multiplication, because of the matter evolved, so the consciousness evolved out of the matter. Okay. So the matter and the consciousness, they have totally different properties. One is totally independent and other is dependent. It continues to multiply. So what comes out of one thing should have a characteristics. Characteristics means what? If matter is changing, so consciousness is also changing. No, we are talking of mental consciousness. I said I agree with you. Mind is also a matter. But if you say that it evolved from the matter, the gray matter, that is the, you say, seat of the consciousness on one hand, and then you say no, evolution, matter gave rise to the consciousness. It means, and the consciousness is unchanging reality that we already know. So at least one main characteristics of the matter should also be with the consciousness. It means consciousness is also changing. And which is not true. So your entire philosophy and concept is not true. Finished. Yes, you are doing a lot of work in the medical science field. That is okay. Objective reality, it's okay. Objective field is okay. It's okay. Eastern wisdom, we say that we start from the highest consciousness down. We don't start from the matter and we rise to the highest level. Now see that philosophy? Consciousness. Consciousness is the ultimate reality that is known as the real self at the individual level, and the supreme consciousness, what we say, the God. They are independent. One, why it is independent? It is not influenced by any changes happening in the body, mind, matter, world, universe. But why I feel, why I have fears, and because of ignorance. So if ignorance is removed, I will find realize my potential. Answer is yes. It is a testimony of thousands of masters, more than 3,000 texts. And that is what we say, realization. So what I realize is already within me. I am that I am that real self. I have to realize. What is covering over me is the false I. Just for a moment, think that ocean is a ocean or water. Ocean is a conscious entity. Ocean is thinking like us. Just for a moment, to understand this principle. Now there is a big wave. how the ocean perceives the wave. Ocean says, you are me in this name and the form. You're not different. You cannot be different. You are me. You evolved from me. But now think from the, now you see the wave is also like a human being. So there are three waves they are discussing. Three waves, it means they have already divided themselves with the name and the form. They are already living in ignorance. How much they try, they cannot find that they are the ocean. Unless I drop this. When I drop this name in the form. So when I drop this name in the form, it means I have dropped the body-mind complex. I have dropped the false I, or I have dropped the ignorance, or I have dropped the delusion. So when I have dropped, now don't just see that. Again, now second point. The river, the ocean perceives, oh, you are me. How the ocean says to the wave that you are me. Ocean perceives the wave without that boundary of the name and the form. Then only the ocean can say that you are me. It cannot say with the boundary of name and the form. It cannot say with the body and the mind complex. It knows the essence. Essence is me. So if you say the consciousness evolved from the matter, so essence still remains the matter. How you are saying, you are wrong. Science is wrong. Even in giving the interpretation, science is 100% wrong in this case. So the ocean is looking, very essence is water. You are also the water, minus the boundary, minus the name and the form. So ocean can easily perceive the problem with the wave because it lives with the body and the mind complex. It always tries to give interpretation and reflection and all those stuff based on the body-mind complex. So now you look at the journey of the self-discovery is all about go beyond. I gave you an example, dream state, body and mind. Or mental state, waking state, body and the mind. Sleep state, you leave the body and the mind. So you are relaxed and calm. Can you reach to that state consciously? Turiya, fourth state. Nirodha state, yoga chaktavritti nirodha. Emptiness. That is why I translate this verse as emptying the mind of its content is yoga. I don't say suppression, control. How can you say it is control and suppression? You need not to control. Let the world continue. World of change should continue as it is. Ocean does not say to the wave, first wave, merge into me, then I will tell you who am I. Let there be millions of waves. And every time the ocean plays, ocean perceives all the waves without name in the form. It is me. But wave is tiny as compared to such a big ocean. So I already have a delusion and ignorance in me that I'm so tiny. It becomes very challenging to the wave. If I'm the wave, it becomes very challenging to me to declare that I'm an ocean. Do you see that? Look at this. So because it feels so impossible because of ignorance. Master says you are in ignorance. You don't realize you are an ocean. And then we have lot of logic and principles and practices and lot of stuff. masters, every master says, you are an ocean, come on. How can I believe you? I'm so tiny. What you are referring? You are referring body and mind. You are identified with the body. So then we have to work at the secondary level first, before I help you to realize that wave is also an ocean. And then I explain you what is this body. There are three bodies. That is how I explain you. No, but my experiences are different. Okay, Panch Kosha. You see, now we moved from secondary level to the third level, then to the or deeper level. Oh, Panch Kosha. Now, what is about Panch Kosha? Now, it is moved by the three gunas. What is three gunas? Three gunas is Prakriti. What is Prakriti? Prakriti is Maya. What is Maya? Maya is a delusion. What is delusion? The wave feels as if that wave is separate from an ocean, which is not. You see the entire journey. That is the beauty of understanding. So, okay, now intellectually we have understood. The problem is with the mind. Mind says, no, I don't believe it. Why it doesn't believe it? Because it is impulsive in nature. It is deeply identified with the body and the mind and the thoughts and sleeping state and the waking state and the dream. So we go back to the same square one. And that is why the master keeps on guiding and listening, or removing those objections. And then one day you realize, you declare, I am an ocean. That means choiceless awareness. We don't need to go anywhere. I am an ocean. So here the ocean means there is only one entity, which is all pervading. So there is only one, so you don't have a choice. So that is why it is a choiceless awareness. So when J. Krishnamurti talks of the choiceless awareness, he is not talking that you suppress the mind and you intellectually you work and then you enter into the choiceless awareness. No. He's talking of something else. And we understand, very good, he's talking of intellectually, so I can enter into the choiceless awareness. No, not at all. It is not. It is different. He's talking of this thing, a wave and ocean metaphor. And our first principle, and if you start working on the first principle, study Eastern wisdom to study myself. That is why you say, study myself. I know I am a wave. No, you are not a wave. You are an ocean. No, I don't recognize. You start with the second first. You start doing the Nitya Karma Yoga. Then contemplate and reflect, find out who is the doer in you. I am speaking, you are not speaking. Lips, larynx. It's a body-mind complex. Look at it means that I am not the doer and the enjoyer. Yes. One day you don't remain a doer and enjoyer. You experience a total freedom. Because it is becoming a doer and the enjoyer holds you, keeps you attached, associated. And then the fourth step, you recognize the desire prompted actions. Need-based physical survival. No, I will earn $1 million to help people. So you expand your mind, not to remain confined to the I-ness or ego. Yes, earn $1 million. No problem. Then recognize the defects in the world. So that pain and the pleasure in relationship to the world experienced by the mind. If there is no world, I don't experience any pain, pleasure, duality, conflict, etc. You look at these 8 steps are so beautiful. Oh my goodness. So that is what And the master, in the end, that is why you say that you are still the wave, you are not an ocean, but my friend, you are an ocean. You are an ocean. Your essence is ocean. You are made from the ocean. You live in that ocean. You take birth in the ocean. You will die in the ocean. There is nothing more than that. Once we recognize that, recognition is realization. Recognition is realization. Recognition